Hello, beloved one, and welcome back to the power and the love always present in the now. Take a nice deep breath. And follow it up with 2 or 3 more as we dive into a thought for the day worth considering. So oftentimes, once the monkey mind takes over, once the ego takes over, that negative mind, it's easy to start spiraling in judgments, in confusion, in frustration, in anger. It's like a tiny little match. That first negative thought can be a tiny match that can set off a forest fire. So it's important to have a tool that's going to allow you to transcend the negativity so you don't spend your day in it, or your week, or your month, or your life. So the question that's worth asking yourself, whenever you find yourself in conflict, is simply, what would love say? What would love say? And oftentimes what love would say is some variation on the choice you make around this needs to involve love. Love for yourself and love for the other person. You can always supplement another word in there. What would the divine say? What would your higher power say? What would your higher self say? So let's use for an example, someone has hurt your feelings, someone has wronged you. The question to ask yourself is, now what would love say here? And very likely, love would say something along the lines of, take a moment to understand where they're coming from. Take a moment to understand the pain that might have led them to this experience. Take a moment to evaluate or consider their entire life circumstance that might make them do something that is negative or harmful, not only to you, but to themselves. And then follow it up with, now that we have an understanding of where they're coming from, now let's pour some of that love on ourselves. I'm sorry that happened to you. I know it doesn't feel good when someone you care about or someone you know hurts you. So let's take a moment to wrap our arms around ourselves. Remember your divinity. Remember that what they say, unless you've done something deliberately wrong, doesn't have anything to do with you. Remember that you're drawing in this experience so that you can learn to love yourself more. So that you don't feel like a small child being attacked, but a grown human dealing with something that all humans deal with. Forgiveness is the gift we give ourselves. The other person is responsible for the karma they create through their actions. Your only job is to move as close to love as possible so that you can feel good about yourself, so that you can feel strong, so you can embody the love of the divine. And there's no feeling as joyful as love. Allow it to permeate every cell of your being. Sometimes you may have to ask yourself these questions several times. If you're feeling badly, ask yourself, do I want to feel like this? Do I want to judge this person? Or do I want to understand how they could be acting the way that they are? Set a clear boundary to protect myself and rise above. so that my mind is clear and free to receive the guidance from my higher power and my higher self. That's a good use of our time. So sending love and light to you today and always. Remember, you are sacred and you are unconditionally loved by the force that created everything on this planet and beyond.